Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? This is actually my first time streaming, so I'm not sure how it's going to go. Can you hear me okay? Good sound and video. Nice. All good. Well, thanks a lot for joining today. For those of you who don't know, I'm Vlad, the CEO of War Writers, and I'm super excited to be able to talk to you today. Maybe you guys can let me know in the chat where you're watching the stream from today. Who is from the US, Canada, maybe Latin America, Europe, Asia, Florida, Hawaii. Nice. Philippines, nice. Finland, cool. Russia. PH, what is PH? Is that a state? Phoenix, no? What is PH? Philippines, okay. Mars, oh nice. I watched Martian not that long ago. Brazil, nice, cool. And how many clans or player-earned guilds do we have here today? I've seen YIP, right? Someone from New York. Cool. YIP Gaming. What else do we have? Dark Horizon. Nice. Anyone else? The Alliance, the Empire community. Cool. All right, so today I wanted to talk to you about the upcoming sale of Garage NFT property titles and how they're going to function in the game. I will show you a short game demo of how it will work in the game. I'm then going to answer the questions you submitted for the AMA and maybe a few from the live chat as well. After that, we will do 3 giveaways for one for the Twitter competition, one for the best AMA question in Discord, and one for the best question in the live chat. And we will be giving away today. What are we giving away today? We're giving away these engravable SUVs. Yep. Cool. So each the 3 SUVs that we're giving away: one for the Twitter competition, one for the best AMA, and one for the best AMA question in Discord, and one for the best question in the live chat. Cool. All right, so I'd like to remind you that the private sale will launch December 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. You do have to RSVP for it to receive the link for the sale before it becomes publicly available. So when you RSVP and when your RSVP is confirmed, you will receive an email to confirm your RSVP. And when you're essentially signed up, you will get an email before everyone else does. And the link for RSVP is, let me find that. Hold on. Garage.com. Garage sale RSVP. Right? Yeah. Here's the link. So don't forget to RSVP. What is the difference between public and private sales? So for the private sale, what we usually do is we don't make the link public. So we can't really prevent people from participating in the sale, but we wouldn't post the link publicly on the website. And this sort of gives the people who RSVP'd a chance to participate early before everyone else does. But it's not really password protected or anything like that. It sort of worked for us in the past. And also when you RSVP, don't forget to add mail@sent.warriders.com to your contact list. Otherwise, you may miss the email, because your email may go to a different folder, like a promotion folder or spam, because we use this email address for the mailing purposes, for like the announcements and stuff. So the reachability is not always 100%. Cool. So please hold on to your questions until the end, I guess, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep reading them, or maybe you'll repeat them at the end or something like that. Cool. So let me show you the video then. Sorry, no, let me show you the demo, the game demo. All right, one sec. Still trying to figure out how to use this thing. Oops. All right. Cool. So when you log into the game, you see the garages just like you usually see them, and you see the amount of tokens that you own, how much you earned. And when you click on it, this is sort of a new screen. This is the overview of a garage, how many entrances it has, the location, and some info about the garage. The entrance fee is basically the percentage of BZN that is taken out of your vehicle tank when you enter the garage. If you don't have a privilege to enter for free, the BZN is distributed proportionally among the property title owners. There's no change here. So the tokens, you see the active tokens is the amount of garage tokens you own, and they're not expired. And you see the how much you owned and what's the total, right? And when you click on the property titles, you will see the property titles that you have, and these are sort of like the dummy property titles. These don't try to like make sense of the numbers that you're seeing on the screen. So you see the rarity index, lock index, and discount rate. This is essentially tells you, determines your discount, the tokens, and your share, so how many tokens you own and your share of the pool. And the timing essentially tells you how long do you have to renew until you can renew the tokens. So yeah, again, the tokens, and this is, again, don't try to think that this is the actual numbers. These are the dummy numbers that we just created for this, to show you this. So the cashback essentially is the amount that you're going to get back from the sale for the unused portion of your time in the title. So the total renewal cost will be the renew price that you see, the discount, which depends on your luck, right? And the discount rate. So the renew price minus discount minus cashback is going to be what you're going to pay for the renewal. And renewing is fairly easy. So you just click the button and you click yes, and the amount is going to be subtracted from your balance. And this is basically what it is. All of your titles right now are renewed. You're going to you can click renew expired, right? And all of the titles will be renewed if you had multiple titles expired. So this is sort of convenient, and it's the same thing here. So just how the actual NFT title, NFT property title would look like. But yeah, this is basically it. So it's fairly simple. So if you have any questions about this particular thing, I'll be happy to answer it. Okay, let me go back. Hang on. Let me see. Shareholders of garages will be able to change fees or other administrative matters. Yeah, this is a good question. We still don't know whether we should make some kind of a governance mechanism for this, but this is definitely a possibility. We would like to get the community's feedback on that. Need a medium or white paper on the garage parameters or interactive and test server so we can play with it. So this took almost 1 year to create. Yeah, so there's when you see the demo, it feels like it's very easy to create, right? Just click a few buttons, but there's actually a very complex mechanism. For example, even like reviewing or renewing the titles is very complex in itself. So there's like a giant formula how the calculations are made and stuff like that. I also didn't show you the mini map, but the mini map is also another cool feature that we are releasing with this release. Maybe I will post the video later somewhere in Discord or on Twitter. Cool. So let me start answering your questions so that this doesn't really take that much time. So just before I start answering questions, I wanted to tell you that the sale is basically going to be just similar to what we have with the weapons. We're going to have three types of crates. So there's a regular crate, which is going to have the least amount of fewer amount of tokens in there, and the lock indexes are going to be sort of like on the lowest levels, but all three garages are going to be in this case. And the mid-grade case is sort of going to be the balance between the premium and the mid-grade, sorry, the premium and the regular case. And the premium case is obviously going to have the best titles there, but it's going to be more on the expensive side. And all the sales are going to be purely in BZN. So there is going to be the Ethereum minting fee associated with that, as well, just as what we have for the weapons as well. But you wouldn't be able to buy the property titles with Ethereum, so you will need BZN to purchase. And also all the renewing also only works in BZN. Okay, cool. So first question. All right. Fam Soldier, why do you believe this is the most appropriate time to have a garage sale? Bear market, low NFT morale, not enough game NFT owners, etc. So I know it's a lot easier to launch during the bull market, but sometimes it is a good idea to launch something new and not widely tested within the ecosystem when there's not much unnecessary hype going on. So the garages are designed to provide long-term utility beyond this particular launch. The garage property titles expire, as you know, and the players have to renew them using BZN. So for example, let's consider this: if the earnings are low, most of the owners won't renew the titles, but those who renew will benefit from an exclusive distribution, and there will be fewer owners to share the tokens with. I mean, the tokens that are brought into the garage. Or for example, maybe in the future it will be cheaper to buy new titles as opposed to renewing the old ones. So a lot of game mechanics are at play here, and we're excited to see how this evolves and grows. This will sort of serve as foundation for all future garage property titles. Okay, so Danny's telling me to lower the music a little bit. Let's see. How is the renewal price calculated? Like, I'm assuming it would be impossible for it to be more expensive than the amount of BZN accumulated by it. So we will I'm still trying to figure out whether it's okay to share the formula for the renewing. Not, I think Riley told me that it's okay to to share it, but not like most of the games usually don't do that. I think we can share like a basic formula. Let me see if I have it somewhere here. Let's see. So even I can't understand it. Let me see. I think it's something like this. Yeah. So I think that's the formula for renewing the titles. It's okay, share it. Okay, sure, yeah. There's like, I think it's on our GitHub, so there are a bunch of graphs and variables. So yeah, it's not even, this is just like a human version. It's not even a, it's not even the code version. Okay, next question. We can talk more about the renewals in the future, and the renewal prices. We are definitely going to be able to adjust it as we go, and we'll probably create some kind of algorithm to control it. Okay, Alpha Sap. What are you guys planning to change for the future? For example, communication with the community and openness from the team to that community, or is it going to be the same as it is now? So you gotta understand that everything that we do is for the benefit of the business and community. If we don't disclose certain information, it means that this information is going to potentially cause more harm than benefits. We're definitely working towards streamlining the communications and sort of developing business practices that will help us scale. But if we don't answer some questions or don't provide specific information, it's very much intentional. Okay, next question. Safety guy, could you please provide all the utility of the BZN token and any future utility? Okay. Close that. So BZN is currently used to purchase NOS and weapons. So next week we will obviously be launching the garage sales, and the sales will be purely in BZN. The renewals of the garage property titles will also be in BZN, and traditionally 30% of that BZN burns and 70% goes back to the mining pool. BZN will also be used for the upcoming on Flipper functionality, when your vehicle is upside down, right, and you can unflip it. You'd be able to press the button and it sort of unflips you. Unfortunately, this isn't going to make it in the garage release, but I think in the next one we will include it. But the mini map will be in this release, and the mini map is just incredible. It's very convenient. It has a few different modes, so you could follow the camera or follow the vehicle. It's very convenient, so you wouldn't have to keep opening the map like over and over again to see where the garages are. Okay. Cool. And there will be many future use cases like that for BZN in the game, such as, you know, in crafting and more. Okay, next question. Why should I buy an NFT garage property title with the current game situation where nobody is playing apart from a small group of players only in the event period? Maybe you shouldn't, I don't know. We're not forcing anyone to buy. I think buying early saves you some BZN, as the cost in BZN will increase with every crate open. So it does have some benefits to secure the titles earlier, even though you're not planning to, if you're not planning to actually use them now. The titles, this is actually very important, the titles will be activated automatically when you log into the game. So if you don't log in, they won't start their countdowns for the active period. So by not logging in, you can sort of preserve them for the future and you know, use them later on if you want to, or using them when the time is right. Okay, next question. Are you considering changing to another network for lower gas fees, or sticking to ETH network in the long run? So not at the moment. We always believed in Ethereum, and it never let us down in the long run. The Ethereum community is actively working on solving the most important problems related to transaction costs and speed. So I believe this won't be an issue in the long run. What is the advantage of the events over the random HD? Is you will have players coming only for the events and not regularly. The advantage is mostly that you could gather people on the weekends, and people could you know, plan in advance. Alpha Seth is mad that the flip kits is being pushed back. Yeah, so I think it's essential for us to launch the garage sale right now, because this is already a lot of things going on, and the flip kit will be included in the following release. So I promise you that. Cool. See a lot of questions, great questions in the chat. All right, let's keep going. Right, next question. Ayrton Manesco. I hope I'm pronouncing your nicknames correctly. If I don't, please don't blame me or correct me in the chat. Will there be fees paid in BZN for players to enter and leave garages after this update? Thank you very much, and congratulations to the whole team for the great work on the game. Thank you. If you're asking about the entrance fees for the Continental, the Bunker, and Gentleman's Club, then yes, they will be enabled after this update. Okay, next question. Okay. What are the plans to revive the game? As right now there are only 20 30 players, well, players playing max. What are your plans to bring the number back to 200, as I don't see the garage sale doing this? I think the number of players are actually higher than that. This is what we see. It's definitely not 20 and 30, but I agree the number of players decreased, and this is mostly because of the market conditions and overall sentiment. But I think I'll talk about this later. I think someone already asked this in the questions. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, I can't pronounce that username. Orpheus, I think. Is there an increase of BZN to mine after the garage sale? What are the plans to increase the number of players? Oh, actually, yeah, this is the question. The distribution depends on the number of active players, and we don't actively control it. The Wasteland core is fairly intelligent and regulates the BZN emission on its own. So, but the plan is as always to keep building the product people use and scale the infrastructure. But obviously, the market conditions also need to be better for the sentiment to come back, right? I haven't had an internet connection for 4 months. Had to play with no internet. Do you like have your own server for that matter? Because you can't play without an internet connection. Curious how you did this. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so the further we go, the more difficult it is for me to pronounce the usernames. So let's call him Maza. Will there be a minimum amount in BZN and a maximum garage purchase quota? So I'm not sure what is the minimum amount in BZN, but as far as about the maximum purchase quota, each player will be able to open up to 10 cases in a single transaction. So each property title contains multiple garage tokens of a single garage. So it may not make a lot of sense to buy a lot of titles unless you really want to accumulate a lot of tokens. The premium cases will be fairly expensive in BZN, as I mentioned, and they will provide plenty of tokens per property title. So this was done so that the players don't spend too much ETH on transaction fees. So you can sort of buy like a one property title, right, and it will contain many tokens. It may suffice your needs. It's time to get internet. We missed that sexy SEV of yours. Yeah, I'm not sure what's that. What is that SEV? You guys need to post a picture of it. It's been a struggle. Moved out to the middle of nowhere in the country. Moved out to the middle of nowhere, and the internet is slow there. Oh, it's slow getting me fiber. Okay, cool. What is the average amount of BZN mined in 24 hours? I think this question also been asked. Okay, yeah, I'll answer this question later on. Okay, next question is this sort of a, yeah. Let's see. Are there any plans to make the game worth of playing again every day? Yeah, for sure, certainly. When the time is right. I think the next question is similar to this. I'll just answer both of them. What are you going? When are you going to be back to the normal distribution? Just like in the old time, you can get HD event if not an HD event. I think when the time is right, when the market community is ready for it, when we have enough daily players for the everyday events, we will definitely launch the daily distribution again. Okay, so all right. Okay, so next question. Alpha Seth again, what are you guys planning on doing to compete against other games that are doing more marketing and communicating with their community? So again, this is again sort of the same question. What we saw in the past is that the players like generally moved with profitability, specifically from developing countries, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I know there are a lot of clan owners here as well. So specifically those players from developing countries, such as like from Latin America or some parts of Asia, when the earnings drop, these players leave. So what we found is that for the play to earn or play and earn models, there either has to be a constantly growing amount of players that are spending money in the game because the game itself needs to pay for expenses, or the ecosystem needs to consist of other companies that are sort of broadening the virtual economy. And there are a lot of ways how we can make this we can make the latter happen, right? And right now we have an interesting concept that we were sort of massaging for the past few months, and it involves broadening the ecosystem and sort of diversifying BZN emissions with potentially other tokens in the game. And when I'm saying other tokens, I don't mean our tokens, but I mean the tokens of other projects. So if you know someone who could be interested in this, please have them reach out to me. Thank you. All right, next question. Okay, Cryptomaniac. How many property titles per garage, and will they be transferable NFT? Will there be plans for more garages in the future, either through map extension or different arenas? So we currently have daily limits for garage property titles, which means that the smart contract is going to allow you to buy more. Is not going to allow you to buy more than what the limit is. So you will have to wait for the next day to make the purchase. It works similarly to the gun crates, but for the guns there are monthly limits. For the garages, we implemented the daily limits, and we even show the counter on the website right now, so it will show how many are left to buy for today, how many crates are left to buy. So as technically there is no hard limit for the titles, the daily limits enforce the emission and the expiration on each title, yeah. So hang on, I lost my thought here. And so yeah, basically, yeah. So the daily limits, they enforce the emission, and the expiration of each title also makes it impossible to, like, for a single person to control a single garage for a single period of time. So these are the limits that we implemented, and you will have to spend additional BZN, to renew these titles. And as far as about the additional garages, yes, of course there will be additional garages beyond of what we have right now. So Smoka posted a lot of questions here, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to answer them all. Let's see. Yeah, so the cost per garage token, total amount of garage tokens per garage, percent profit from drive-in per token. Are there fees to maintain the garage token for the profit? If so, how are the fees calculated? We already answered that question. Are there extra bonuses for garage token holders? So we don't have the cost per garage token publicly available yet. So as always, you'll have to wait for the actual sale to see that number. The total amount of garage tokens per garage is, as you saw previously, we don't have the hard limit. I talked about it. We only have the daily limits, and the percentage profit from drive-in per token really depends on the amount of owners. So even right now, how it works in the garages, when you log into the game, you will see how much BZN you're making from that particular garage. So it's going to be similarly. Are there fees to maintain garage token for the profit? Yes, as I mentioned earlier as well, and I believe I answered how the fees are calculated. Okay. Cool. Werner von Fluff. Can you give us an update on equipment slots, lasers, and player progression? So all of these things, so lasers are not even going to come out until later in the game process, until we're finished with balancing the garages and making sure that everything is working flawlessly. So I think this is sort of going to be, lasers and flamethrowers are going to be closer to the mid-grade vehicle sale. The equipment slots, we still don't have any public info on them, but I think there's something interesting going to be going on with this. And the player progression, I think, is asking about the crafting, and the crafting is currently not a top priority, so it's sort of been dropped down the priority list just because we have more important things to work on, and crafting is by itself is like another game inside of the game, right? So it really requires a lot of resources, but it's going to bring a lot of additional utility for BZN. Okay, let's see. All right. Next question. So it's taking me a while to copy the question, paste it on the screen. Especially for longer questions. Okay. Irmão do Mirles. Yeah, I really hope I'm pronouncing your usernames correctly. If I'm not, please don't blame me. Talking about the economy, there's going to be any plans about burning more BZN, even though the garage sale is known that players have a lot of BZN stakes. Should be interesting to see any updates that require BZN as the primary currency. So the BZN is actually the primary currency for the garage sale. You're not able to buy garage tokens with ETH, as I mentioned earlier, so we believe that this will increase BZN burn. Okay. See, next question. Smoka from Empire. How large is the chance that the SEC and the US government consider the garage tokens a security? I think this is an interesting question. I always like talking about the SEC. I think the chance is extremely low. First of all, I think the SEC has a lot of real work to do in trying to kill the nascent blockchain gaming industry. Definitely isn't their goal right now. But even if we look at it seriously and take like the most common framework the SEC uses to determine if the asset is a security, which is the so-called Howey test. So it needs to be these 4 points. So the asset needs to meet these 4 requirements to become a security, basically. So it's, first of all, is an investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profit and to be derived from the efforts of others. And why it passes the Howey test is that there is basically no investment of money. We don't profit from the sales, so BZN burns, like 30% of BZN burns, and the 70% goes back to the gaming pool as always. And the sales are purely in BZN, which is a gaming token, when we never sold any BZN. So I think the chance of this becoming a security is extremely low, as it hangs in these and basically in the first point. And again, I'm not a lawyer. This is just my estimation. Okay, let's see, next question. All right, Nicholas, do you intend to implement a rent system in the game? And if the answer is yes, is it already in development? As of right now, there is so-called the so-called renting is handled through assigning account access using our secure account sharing feature. if the situation dictates otherwise, we can consider implementing a different system or building a system on top of that. But right now you can essentially rent your entire account and sort of deal directly with the scholars and the renters via that secure sharing system. Yeah, I'm trying to go faster through these questions because it's already 12. Okay. All right. Alt F4. Given the situation of the market, is there a chance to have another mint for vehicles at a much cheaper price in order to attract new gamers? Cheaper vehicles are definitely the goal with the mid-grade and regular sales, and this should only happen at scale, is what we believe. There's still a lot of work to do to scale the server infrastructure sort of horizontally to be able to handle hundreds of thousands of users. There's also a lot of work in making sure the core game mechanics work as expected before any significant sort of scalability event. For example, right now we're implementing the garage property titles, and a lot of things can go wrong with that. Because it is, as I mentioned, it is fairly complex. Having a small community sort of helps us troubleshoot and adjust things fairly quickly, which wouldn't be possible if we were running with hundreds of thousands of players. Okay, next question. I like these short questions. It's easy to copy and paste them. So Frank TSC, with all the garages be using this? Will all the garages be using this system, and when will the car sales start? So if you're talking about the current sales model, then yes, all future garages will be using this system. As far as the car sales, there's currently no set date, but in the meantime, you can buy the vehicles from others on OpenSea or other marketplaces. All right, I'm trying to read the chat as well. I don't mind few players as my van will survive longer, and that's true. Okay, well, there's many questions. I'm not going to be able to read the entire chat history right now. Okay, let's continue answering questions from Discord. And these are the questions that were asked in advance, so it's pointless to post more questions in Discord now because I'm not reading them. Well, I'll read them later, but during the stream I can't. Okay, so Kobe Xander, with the game Crossout eventually plans to venture to Web3, how do you think you can compete with that? Are they planning to switch to Web3? Where do you see this info? Maybe if you guys can share the link to this in the chat, that would be interesting to see. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they should reach out to us and buy some of our Web3 tech. I think competition is a fairly complex topic, and we talked a little bit about it earlier on the stream. We have a lot of insights about the market, and specifically play to earn models, and we were building the game with this from the ground up. So implementing something like this in the existing project would be fairly complex. This is my personal opinion, so I'm not exactly sure how successful they're going to be with it. but I wish them luck. It's definitely great that more projects are entering the space, as we're still very early in this space. It's also essentially it's essential to understand that we're very early. Okay. Judge Chimpo, when will I be able to buy a vehicle directly in the game with BZN? Well, there are no official plans announced for this functionality. Okay, so next question. Those sound like short questions. So anyone can post the crossout link, or not a crossout link, but the link to the announcement where they're switching to Web3. Okay, that's a long question. All right, Dev123. NFT games are often designed to be very profitable for early investors or players with an early advantage. These players create a large gap in NFT gear with the latter. So what will the project build to bridge the gap between these two groups of players? I feel like this is a competitor trying to get our strategy, but I think this is a very good question. We talk a lot about balancing, and we design our entire game with the balance in mind. So recently we released the ephemeral nodes, spawn protection, and also lasers as part of the spawn protection, and I think all of it helps solo players enjoy the game. So a little more than they used to. And the clans, or so-called play to earn guilds, are still going to have a significant advantage compared to solo players, just because they can accumulate a lot of assets, and they're just larger, so there are a lot more players. But solo players still have a chance to compete, and in addition to that, both sharding and limiting the clan numbers in the game is possible. We talked about this in the past as well. So, for example, we could introduce a system where players will be able to break into smaller groups and choose who they want to be in the same server with. So this is particularly useful if the clan members are located in different parts of the world, for example. So you can choose who you want to be on the same server with. So this will provide additional balancing. But I think as it is now, we already have a good system for the solo players to play, even with low quality, like low grade assets. Okay. Yeah, I see the question about the servers. I think there was another question about the servers in Discord. Let's see if it's not, I'll answer it. There was also a question about the white paper in the chat, and also in Discord. So Kobe Xander asking, why are we not updating the white paper, and what are your current plans with BZN circulation? So keeping up with the wallpaper is extremely tedious as things change fairly quickly. So the wallpaper sort of serves as a base layer for our core principles and game mechanics. The BZN circulation plans haven't changed from the wallpaper, so not. But I'm not exactly sure what you're asking about BZN circulation here. Okay, next question. Mr. Flash is asking, can you provide details about the number of full-time employees working on this project and the funding you have? And no, I cannot. Like, why do you need this information? Like, are you a company trying to estimate when are we going to run out of money and like to make a lowball acquisition offer or something? Or what is the purpose of this? We're not offering any investment opportunities, and there's like absolutely no reason for you to ask how much cash we have. It's just weird. It's like asking how much money you have in your bank account or in your wallet. Like, bro, how much money you have? We do have funds to run, and we stated this. If we were to be running out of funds, we would let the community know. I did answer this question multiple times already, and as far as about the core team members, we have about 10 people, and if you include all of the part-time people who are, for example, the 3D content creators who create textures for the game, audio effects, the small tasks like proofreading or other tasks that don't require NDAs, the total number is probably close to 20. Again, we do have funding to run, and we will continue to develop the game even through bear markets, as we were always doing. But yes, we're a little slow, but this is just how we do things. And right now, you're also gonna understand that we have hundreds of different systems that need to be maintained and updated. And even going through a simple Ethereum merge, right, we had to migrate our entire set of contracts to a different testnet, to Goerli, right, because Ring B has been deprecated, and it's a pain to do that. It's very it takes a lot of time to rebuild something that you already had perfectly working, right? Okay, next question. All right, PC Joker. What is the total amount of BZN distributed over 24 hours on a normal game day, and how much during the events? This was the question in the chat as well. So this really depends on the number of people playing. When we had random HD, the daily emissions with 24/7 distribution didn't exceed 1,000 BZN, I believe. Right now we switched to slow distribution, and the daily emissions are virtually zero, because there's practically no one is playing during the days, or maybe a few people who are just like browsing or doing some training. Currently, the emissions during the event days are fewer than 500 BZN per event or per day. Okay. So Matt Ad is asking about crafting. I think I answered this question earlier. The crafting is why the crafting is being delayed. Okay, next question. IP. Yeah, I think I also answered that question earlier. Will there be garage governance built into the token, allowing entry, changing percentage, etc. eventually? It's not going to be built into the token as of right now. At least it's not built into the token. It could be a separate layer or a separate smart contract that controls that, that sort of organizes the voting and creates some sort of consensus, so we could use these values for in the game. And we're definitely open to this and would like to hear the community's feedback. So maybe you guys can share your thoughts on this in the chat. So is there any interest from the team in setting up separate servers to facilitate clan versus clan battles? Yeah, I think we can definitely set up these servers if the community wants us to. It's not it's not an issue. If you guys want to host some kind of private competitions and stuff, we're happy to do that. And you could talk to Danny about this as well in the general chat, because I think he'll be happy to assist you guys. Okay. Next question. All right. Smoka. Is it possible to make Garage NFT holders get a small percentage from the real-time BZN output as a basis? So if I understand this question correctly, you're asking if it is possible to distribute BZN directly from the pumps to the garage holders. If it's not correct, please let me know in the chat. But this is not possible in the current setup, and I don't personally think it'd be fair for the game. I also love to hear your thoughts on this on this in the chat. Yeah, just reading the chat. The governance utility of tokens, yes. Some people are saying yes. Cool, maybe. So one guy is saying maybe. Good word. Okay, let's see. Next question. If it's going to be honest and not profiting the big boys only, how about shrinking map with some dust storm during low player counts in the wasteland to keep action high? So I think this is a sort of an idea for a different type of game, like a battle royal type of game. So Warriders isn't battle royal, but I think it could be cool. This is not Fortnite, yeah. Okay, so Gone G. What is the main goal of the garage sale? So the main goal is to provide the game and community with a long-term BZN utility and incentivize more BZN burn. This is the main goal. As you guys know that the sales are purely in BZN, so no ETH sales for the garage tokens. Okay. Next question. All right, so a lot of people were asking about the servers, and here's the questioning about the servers again. Yeah, I can't. Vasian one. I really hope I pronounce your names correctly. Is there a plan to make local servers, and if so, what quantity of players would be critical mass to do so? Yes, we do have plans to have not local but global servers, so they wouldn't necessarily be local to a particular community, but they will be located in the different regions of the world, such as one is going to be in Asia, right? One can be in Latin America, one can be in Europe, and one could be in Africa, for example, so that the players could connect to that server and have lower ping values. Until all of us get Starlink and we'll get 50 milliseconds ping to any server in the world. But until that happens, we'll be deploying more global servers. But it's actually not an easy task, and we're working to prepare our architecture for that scalability, and this sort of needs to be the horizontal scalability. And our game is real time, and it's not easy to synchronize all the servers. So this is another challenge that we're facing in the scalability. Okay, so I think we're going to be wrapping up. Let's see. Maybe I will answer a few questions from the chat. It's never been easy. Yeah, it's never been easy. How would the game achieve the mentioned figures of hundreds of thousands of players with servers only in the major regions, as you mentioned? So there are a few ways how to do that. Sharding is one of them. Sharding is basically creating the game world instances within a single server. So you'll have multiple servers in a single host, and you'll be able to play sort of like in parallel, which would in theory support a lot of players. I don't really have the exact numbers yet, but if we're talking about the local servers, such as you can spin a server for Minecraft or something, like in your for your small town or something, it's not going to be like this. There's still going to be basic servers for the region, but they're not going to be like hundreds of small servers in a region. Okay, so I actually like this question. So from Charge, so I think he's going to win the chat giveaway for the SUV. So please send Danny, if you're in our Discord or Telegram, please send Danny your ETH address, and we will send you the your prize. Congratulations. And for the Discord questions, let's see. So yeah, Charge is the winner. Yep. Okay. And let's see, who did I like for the Discord questions? Let's see. I also need to check who. All right, let's see who shared the link. Okay. I actually liked the question about cross out because it's interesting that they're venturing to Web3 as well. I did not know this. I think we had some people early in the community that were always talking about cross out, and they thought that we wouldn't be able to compete with them and stuff like that. And now they're also moving to NFTs. I think it's very interesting. Okay, so and he also shared the link, so I think he will be the winner for the Discord questions, because he also yeah. Okay, Kobe Sander, here you go. Okay, Kobe Sander, winner for the Discord question. Best Discord question. Okay, and we have one last thing to do here, is to show you the results for the giveaway for the Twitter competition. All right. All right. Okay, Twitter competition. And this is Danny selecting the winner. Okay, so in this guy did not mention his friends. So we had to draw another one. Okay, so Mad Ad. Let's see. All right, so he mentioned the friends, and he also did he clap? Yeah, he clapped for the Medium article. Cool. So Mad Ad is the winner of the Twitter competition. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay. So let's wrap this up. Cool, so the private garage sale launch is December 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to RSVP. The public launch is just 2 days later on December 8th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. This is when the link is going to become public. Your referral links will be working for the upcoming garage sale, so please keep using them to earn BZN and even ETH. So if there's ETH minting fee associated with the you DM Danny everyone who won today should DM Danny their Ethereum addresses, and you will get your prize shortly. And these engravable vehicles will be enabled in when the garage sale release is out, so in the 0.18.0 version. So yeah, about the sale, your referral links will be working for the upcoming sale, so keep using them to earn BZN and ETH, because if there's an ETH minting fee associated with the sale, you also earn commission on that. So stay tuned for more info, and see you in the wasteland. It was really nice to be chatting with all of you today, guys. Talk to you later. Bye bye.